What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld. We're going to be talking about the Steelers and the Chiefs going head-to-head on NFL Sunday in a divisional matchup for 2017. And the first thing that we're going to go ahead and jump into is the quarterback position. In my opinion, the quarterback position is the most important position on the field. Some people say, it's the run game and all that kind of stuff. I know running the football and playing defense is the oldest cliche in football to win, but the quarterback touches the ball every possession on offense, and regardless if they're handing it off or passing it, they're the ones that are responsible in most cases. Sometimes they just need to manage the game enough for you to win. But in this case right here, we're talking about two teams that treat their quarterbacks differently. And what I mean by that is Big Ben comes out, he's going to air the ball out all the time. He doesn't care. Double coverage, triple coverage. The guy's a psychopath most of the time, right? Alex Smith is more of a dink and dunk guy. He doesn't really throw the ball down the field. Very mobile, though, and a very underrated quarterback, in my opinion. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into what I think is going to happen in this game. Do I expect the Chiefs to win this game? I had some time to think about it. And I know about, all the stuff with Le'Veon Bell just outright raped the Dolphins. But that's the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? We know that Joey Porter, one of the coaches on the Steelers, he had to take a leave of absence after being arrested. We know all that stuff. Will it be a distraction? We don't know. We have to wait and see. But the bottom line about this game, I'm leaning towards the Chiefs. Now, I like the Steelers. I really do. I think they have a lot of potential. I think that they could possibly win this game. But I'm going to tell you why I picked the Chiefs. Defensively, I think that they're on another level. And I understand that when you talk about the Steelers, Shazier, that boy, he's playing hard. You got Hayward. You got a lot of these guys that are playing well at a very, very high level right now. And the way they treated the Dolphins like a redheaded stepchild, people may think that they're ready to go. I just think that the Chiefs are a more complete team at this point, even with Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Ben Roethlisberger. I just think that they're a more complete team. I think that Eric Berry is a stud. I think that that middle linebacker that's been there forever, Derek Johnson. All these guys, I think, make up a much better format. Dontari Poe, all these dudes on the defensive side of the ball. I think if they come out and they stop the run, and Big Ben has to beat them throwing the ball, the Chiefs are going to win this game outright. And that's what I think they're going to do, because obviously if you look at what happened with the Dolphins, just take a look at that, right? Le'Veon Bell was hesitating for 75 minutes every time and running for 6. That's not going to happen against the Chiefs. So people were wondering, why did you pick why did you say that the Steelers would, beat the Chiefs beat the Dolphins like that last week or stuff like that? Because I looked at what the format of both teams were. You're looking at a guy in Matt Moore that you don't have to worry about. So Ajayi becomes a non-factor because you're going to stack the box. They can't do that because even though Alex Smith is not a guy that throws the ball down the field, he's a dink and dunk type of guy that'll still get yardage. So if you stack the box and he just decides to maybe throw the ball 20, 30 yards downfield, he can do that. And he's pretty accurate when he does that. And he can move, roll out, and then throw it deep. And he has receivers he can get the ball to. You got Conley, you got Macklin, you got guys that can run. So you don't know. And I've seen Alex Smith throw the ball down the field. Like I said, it's not usual. It's not a typical thing for him. He's not known for that, but he can do that. And they have running backs that can run the ball. So when you're the Steelers now, right? And like I said, William Gay is like 95 years old. You got some other guys over there at corner that may be able to play defense, but overall, you can't just key in on the running game for the Chiefs. Even though Alex Smith to some people is considered just a game manager. We all know he's not right now because they got rid of him from San Francisco. Kaepernick was the bomb, and now look at Kaepernick. So Alex Smith has been very consistent with what he does, and I think he's going to do enough to just keep the Steelers on their heels. Now, I'm not expecting a blowout. I'm expecting a rough shot game because both these teams are pretty much offensively. I would probably give the edge to the Steelers, but I just think that when the defense of the Chiefs, they're going to contain Le'Veon Bell. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. And when you take that away, you now force somebody else to beat you. Now, do I trust Big Ben? Most of the time, I do. But like I said, he gets frustrated and then he just starts doing craziness. I've seen this man, when nothing was there, just throw the ball up continuously. and sometimes it gets batted down, sometimes it's an interception, whatever. That's not the point here. The point is simply this. The Chiefs are not the Dolphins. So when you look at it from that aspect and you see that defensively, you're going to be looking at a different type of animal. Listen, their secondary is a much better secondary than the Dolphins. So Antonio Brown, if it's needed, he's going to get double covered. But I think that, Marcus Peters is going to play a big role in that, because you're not burning him deep. You're not beating Marcus Peters deep. And listen, let me just explain something to you guys. That dude's going to be a star in this league. Marcus Peters is going to be a star in this league. So I just want to get out of the way. During the year, I watched him a lot. I watched a lot of Chiefs games, and the refs called him for a lot of penalties. He's very emotional when he plays the game, but he's not overly emotional. I think that he's very aggressive. I think that he can play. He reminds me of Patrick Peterson, because he has the speed. He can be up in your face, and I think that that's what's going to neutralize Antonio Brown. If I'm coaching for this game, okay, I'm making sure that Le'Veon Bell is a non-factor, and after we do that, I'm making sure that the key component to the passing game, Antonio Brown, we take away his catches. Once we do that and we force now Big Ben to make other decisions, I like the Chiefs' chances. And I think that that's what's going to happen. Because the one thing I can tell you about the Steelers, for all throughout this year, regardless who's been at running back, if they can run the ball, they're going to beat you. So I'm picking the Chiefs simply because I think they're going to take away that run game. I do not think that Le'Veon Bell is going to have over 100 yards in this game. I really don't think that. If he does have over 100 yards in this game, the Chiefs are going to probably lose this game, more than likely, because they're not going to go out there and give up 100 yards to Le'Veon Bell, open up completely the run game, and think that Big Ben is not going to hit you with play action down the field. They're going to what the Steelers going to have to, for the Steelers to win this game, they're going to have to come out on first down and pass every time. They cannot be conservative. They cannot come out and try to have a run first type of mentality. They're going to have to always be throwing the ball, because Kansas City is going to be geared up to stop the run. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're selling out to stop Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell last week, he pretty much just gangbanged. He put on a condom and went and just ridiculously raped the Dolphins. It was crazy. So anybody else, any defensive coach that's looking to face this guy is not going to come out and do the same exact thing that the last team did. They're going to take away that guy. This guy's breaking mad records, just doing whatever he wanted, hesitating for, what I told you. The guy was pitching the tent, doing whatever. It was crazy. Breaking Franco Harris, he was just doing whatever he wanted. The guy was a savage. So we know Andy Reid and them boys are going to make sure that that doesn't happen. So Alex Smith now. Let's get back to Alex Smith, because we know Ben Roethlisberger has a huge arm. We know he can throw it down the field, all that stuff. We know that he can hurt you down the field. But remember, the secondary of the Chiefs, they're no slouches, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll take their secondary over the Steelers secondary, but I do like the Steelers front line. I think defensively up front with their linebackers and their defensive line, they're pretty studdy. Like they're studs there, but their secondary, I love the Chiefs secondary. And that's what I think, after they stop the run, what's going to really suffocate the Steelers. I think, just listen to exactly what I'm saying, because you guys will be able to come back to this video on Sunday when it's happening and be like, oh, okay, the guy probably, knows what he's talking about with football. Because like I said, when I look at a team and I'm watching them and I'm like, okay, this guy's doing that. That's what they tend to do. That's what they tend to do. That's this. The Chiefs, did they lose to the Titans? Yes, they did, on a really, really frosty day when, craziness happened. They both had bad losses. Week 6 with the Steelers, they had Ajayi run for 200-something yards. Things change. The one thing that doesn't change is the mentality of the team. And the Steelers is a run-first team with a guy with a huge arm that could then bomb you over the top with play action. The Chiefs are built defensively. They're built defensively because they're not trying to air you out down the field. Even when Nick Foles came in, I think Nick Foles might have lost some of the arm strength when Alex Smith was out for that game. But it's not going to be a situation where Le'Veon Bell is going to run amok like a freaking 3-year-old. And you know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. They're going to key in on him. So, once that happens and you force Big Ben to make decisions and you got dudes coming in, you know what I'm saying? Because the defensive line of the Chiefs is not going to be giving them all that time. You know what I'm saying? So they're coming in. This is going to be a rough shot game, a very, very gritty game, but I have to give the advantage to the Chiefs. I have to be logical looking at it. Even though I know you guys can make an argument for the Steelers, that's my argument. I expect the Chiefs to completely shut down Le'Veon Bell, keep him under 100 yards, and then proceed to score enough to win this game. Very, very close game, I predict, but I think the Chiefs will come out on top. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Until next time, one love.